And then you should have different provisions in there, 2 different riders for different types of strategies. So this is essentially how we design it. Very quick, 70-30 split. Basically, you buy the life insurance. And by the way, I am really generalizing here. This is based on your age. This is based on your insurance underwriting. But most people say, MC, what kind of does it look like? 30% of the premium will go to the life insurance, 70 to the cash value, if I have to very much generalize. So let me share with you a couple of examples here. I think this is what everybody wants to see. So here's an example of a female that is 40 years old that has set up a policy. And what she's doing is she's going to throw in $100K in year 1 into this policy. And then she's going to continue to fund this policy, $50,000. And she's going to do that. Let me just make sure till age 70. So let's go back here. So let's take a look at her policy. Again, you know, if you're a different age, your policy is going to look different. If you're a male, your policy is going to look different. Even if you're 40 years old, it just, there's different underwriting for men and women. Fun fact, women statistically live longer than men. It's probably a lot of reasons I could list for that, but they do. I guess men do a lot of silly things earlier in their life, and would they continue to do that? But back to the policy. So you could see the 100,000 she dumped in. So this is your end of year values, the total net cash value column. But you could see, because she's a female and she has gotten one of the highest or best underwriting things, that there's $78,000 in her policy, in the equity of her policy. So her policy looks a little different. And you could see that she'll have about 95% of that available. And it's not going to be exactly 78,759 after 30 days. These are end of year values, but it's going to be pretty close to that. It's probably going to be closer to 75,000 now that I look at it this way. But she's going to be able to get access up to 95% of that within 30 days to go and buy real estate or use in whatever manner she decides to use it. Then from year 2, she puts in 50. So she's lump sum, she's thrown in $100K. It was money just sitting in a bank doing nothing for her. What are some of the negatives in doing this? You could see the first year, she doesn't have $100,000 in there. And you could see there's a negative column. There's 3 years of negative in change in net cash value less premium outlay, that column. And what that is essentially you're buying the life insurance the first couple of years so that you can pour capital into this policy and throughout the life of this policy. So you could see that within 7 years, there's more money into the policy than what she's contributed in premiums. And in 10 years, there's 550,000 that went in. There's about 630,000 in there tax free with a death benefit of 3.1 million. As you can see, the death benefit continues to grow every single year as well. So this isn't for people that's just looking at year 1. It also isn't for people that are just thinking short term. This is a long-term strategy and should be one of the things that you're doing, not the only thing. It's a tool in your toolbox. It's one of the things. And this is just where you're warehousing your capital. And when it becomes more and more powerful, the longer you have it. You could see in 15 years, there's 800,000 that went in. There's over $1 million tax-free in there. And you could see that year, the policy, even though she just put in 50K, grew by $100,000. So it gets pretty powerful the longer that you do it and have it. And you have to have the big picture kind of view. On the back end for her, she's going to fund this up until age 70. But one thing I just wanted to point out, that if you look at her minimum is probably going to be, let's just say it's 23, it's probably going to be around 23,000. The dividends cover that by year 13. So her dividends cover her minimum already. And she has a max of 50 that she's putting in from year 2 to age 70 over here. At age 70, she's put in 1.55. There's $3.3 million in there tax-free. Now I'm going to ask folks, if you had a 401k, how much of that 3.3 million is yours? If you had an IRA, how much of that 3.3 million is yours? Is it 50%? Is it 70%? Is it 30%? We don't know, right? We don't know. So the reason that we have this is we know that's mine. It's tax-free. And she will be able to draw income from 71 to 90 of over $230,000 per year tax-free. So you know that there is capital there tax-free, and there's a death benefit, of course, of 5.4 million. Now, had she passed away at 65, she had $2.3 million tax-free in her policy, but her death benefit is 4.7. So she gets a multiple. It's almost double. Yeah, almost double of her cash value that she gets and a death benefit. Let's look at another case here. Here is a male 60. By the way, this happens a lot. At 59 and a half, we have so many people working with us to try to get money out of 401ks and IRAs and fund it as quickly as possible.